everyone, I hope everyone's having a good day. So in today's makeup tutorial I decided to do a nice smoky bronzed full glam. This look will go with everybody, and I just want to say I hope everybody enjoyed the last video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I did Ali from Burlesque, and yeah, I actually just cannot wait to do another character from a film for next week. Excited. I don't know who I'm doing. Ooh, but I'm just loving this little series that I've created. Just a bit of fun, like I said. So yeah, anyways, if you want to see how I did this nice bronze smoky full glam look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I am going to switch this up and start with my eyes. I want to do a nice full glam moment, so I'm going to go and do that. Revolution Concealer C1. And I'm going to use my Zoeva 223, and I'm really going to cut out my brow shape with this concealer. Just because, and don't judge me, I'm going under here just to cover the whole eye area. I have not tweezed my brows yet, purely because, see, I'm going to just snatch them with the concealer, and then my brow hairs, are just all here. I'm covering them with the concealer. I don't do my brows that often. I like to let them grow out as much as I can, and then once in a while tweeze them to perfection. And there is a method to my madness. Now make sure you go right underneath that bottom lash line, because I will be applying eyeshadow there, so it all needs to be covered. What was I saying? Yeah, because if you tweeze a hair every time it comes up, I feel like you'll lose the shape, whereas if you let it all grow, you can see which hairs to tweeze out first. Does that make sense? So yeah, for now I've just snatched my brows with my concealer. Can you see that? Can you see that? Okay, so just do that to the other side. And now I'm going to, looking a bit crazy, I'm just going to go top and here, here and here. Just helps me shape the brows that bit more using the concealer. I'll only do this sometimes. I don't do it all the time. Obviously you've seen me do my makeup 101 times, but sometimes I like to switch the routine up. Just gonna grab a fluffy brush for this area just to really buff it out. Okay, all I've done there was conceal my eyes and around my brows to give it that shape, and then conceal the center of my face here and my chin where it typically gets red and needs more coverage. That's all I did. So next up we're going to start on the eyes. Exciting times, folks, exciting times. I'm going to do a bronze look. I'm not going anywhere, but I just wanted to do a nice bronzy glam, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm using the Bronzed Honey by Bia Bell. Love playing with this eyeshadow palette. I'm going to go into First Cookie. This is going to be my transition colour. It's a nice caramel chocolate brown, and this is going to get literally buffed up into nearly my brow section and then curved around here. I'm not going to out like I normally do. So can you see, I'm really going into my brow just because I need to do that, so I have more space to do all the rest of the colours. And this is just Zoeva 228. So yeah, I just like to go right up, and I'm using a big fluffy brush because I want it to be really smoky. And then what I do to the top, I'll do to the bottom. So for this, I will grab my, I found my Kiko 1.20. Let me check. 1.20, yeah, you got it right. So yeah, this little small one, and it's a fluffy one, so I can still get that smoky effect. Go round and round down here, all on the bottom lash line. Woo. All I want to do is kind of connect it and drag it down. So I did my first character on Monday. If you haven't seen it, I did Ali from Burlesque. I hope everyone enjoyed that little tutorial. I can't wait to do a few more at least. So yeah, some fun and exciting things coming up on this channel. Well, I hope it's exciting and fun. Anyways, moving on. I'm going to go in with Sunset. And when I go in with Sunset, I will use the Kaylee brush. This one is SK07. This one's kind of like a brick colour. And what we want to do is focus that mainly on the crease, back and forth. Like so. That's all I want to do. And then go underneath. I'll use the same brush. I want everything to be smoky, so just drag it like that. It's only a shade darker, but that's perfect because it gives you that gradient finish, which I really like. Lastly, I will go into Mocha, which is the darkest brown from this eyeshadow palette. And this one I'm really going to go quite heavy on the outer corners here. And then halfway like this on the crease. Keeping it like half a moon from the corner of my eye. Like so. And then we're going to do that underneath. So sweep it. And you're still going to only focus it from the outer corners here and let it fade towards the tear duct. See the way it goes like dark to light? That's what we want. Okay. And then I don't want to do a cut crease or anything like that. I want it smoky and soft. So I'll just use a brush that's not as sharp ended. It'll still leave a nice soft finish. And I'll use this one. I'm going to go into Goddess, which is this beautiful gold. And I'll swipe it like that. Wow, how pretty is that? And then you're going to go from your tear duct. Keep moving it. Window wipers like that. And then when I get to midway, see that's mid. So window wipers just above the crease, mid. I'm going to go into Honey, which is a darker shimmer, but still a brown. And I'm going to just kind of pat it in the middle towards the end. So here's the end, like so. Perfect. Now this brush, and what I want to do is do a black line, and I really want this smudged. So I'll get Honey. And I'm going to start to create a line from the tear duct. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle in. So lean back, wiggle, and just wiggle your brush in. And I'll show you what to do when you get to the end. I'm going to lift. Don't matter about the fallout, I will fix that. Because there's a lot. I want to lift it at the end. Like a block, almost like a block. Can you see? I just lifted it. And it's still smoky because we haven't done any harsh lines. I'm not doing a flick. This is just a nice dark moment at the end, like so. And I'm going to go around the tear duct area here, like semicircle, and really coat that bottom lash line. Then what I want to do to just make it like that little bit smoky, I'm going to get the same brush and smoke it underneath. See, it's just going to soften that. It's not going to look as harsh, but it's still going to give it a nice smoky depth around the eye. See, like that? I think I want to do a little highlighter moment on the brow bone. So I'll do that. I'll just have to think. I'll just go into Glow actually. Yeah, I don't need to think that long. Just tip tap into Glow, tap, and just hit that brow bone. Ooh, you can still see the hairs, but I don't really care. Perfect. So I'm just gonna do the other eye and stick some lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, both eyes done, and all I did was get a cotton bud and just clean that under eye with some eye cleanser, whatever liquid cleanser that you have. Just clean up the black bit or the fallout, whatever fallout you have. so that it's nice and clean, and when you put your foundation on it won't be muddy. And all I'm going to do is comb this through my brows, which I always use. This really just shapes them up into fluffy brows that I love, and it is number 4 brow, goof proof brow, whatever it's called. And then I get my Benefit in Brunette Betty. Oh, not that end, no, shake it. I want to just use the pen and mimic little hair strokes, and it just gives me more of a fluffy effect. And it also gives, I don't know whether you can see, but it gives me like darker shades, like little hair strokes, and it just darkens my brows a little bit. So yeah, so just do that. And now onto the skin. So I get my Charlotte Tilbury. This is to make me nice and bronzy, and I'm in 5.5, but I'm not really. This is just the shade that I have. Actually, I'm not too far off, can you see? And then I'm just gonna use this around the sides of my face, the outside. My Bobbi Brown, and this is W054. One pump. Oh, my hair is coming out. One pump on whatever applicator you prefer, sponge, fingers, whatever. And I like to start this in the center of my face and buffing it out. So buff everything in then. I do avoid the under eye area, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. Just like to go over the highlighter again. Okay, so buffed foundation in, but I do like to go a little bit over my highlighter. So I'm going to go back in with the C1 under the eye, because that got rubbed off with that black. Just a little bit. Up, up. A little bit here, just got a bit lost. And then here. And buff it in. I like to just have lighter tones in the center of my face. It just gives my overall like face a nice shape, and it doesn't look flat when you just use foundation on its own. So what I like to do is I'm going to go down the nose with my concealer ever so slightly, and then dot. So I'm going to buff that in first, but I like to keep it mainly in the center, okay? Just ever so slightly, and then just bounce your brush. Try not to buff what you just did. A smaller brush, so I'm using this, and it's by Zoeva 230. It's a little pointy brush, and just sometimes I like to do this. I'm going into my RCMA Shinto, grab it with this little pointy brush. You need a small brush for this area, and I like to kind of go down into a little V just at the nose area, and then up the sides of the nose, making sure to keep on the top of that bone. Don't go too much at the side, otherwise you're going to make your nose more wide, and we want it to have it nice and thin, just like a drag queen's nose, but they obviously do a better job than I do. But yeah, that's sometimes what I like to do when I go out. It just gives you that like extra something to your makeup. You want to set your entire face with a powder. So we all know what powder I'm going to use because I still am going through it. RCMA. And you want to bounce this. Be very careful. You want to bounce it on the nose, okay? So that you don't ruin it. So I just like to put a generous amount in the center and let it fade out to the rest of the face. Not too fussy because I'm mainly oily in the T-zone. But for the nose area, you want to just bounce it like that so you don't lose what you just did. And then what I like to do to keep my under eyes nice and bright is use the brightening powder. So it doesn't matter if I still have like the translucent powder that's not really pushed in. All that's going to do is just bake. So on me it definitely disappears, so I'm not too fussy with that. I'm just going to get a smaller brush, which is this one. It's from Real Techniques. I'm going to go into my Makeup Atelier and I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's just a brightening powder and it's more on the yellow side. And I'm just going to go down the side of the nose and then sweep it under the eye. Just place it where you put your concealer and it should just brighten that area just that bit more without putting too much creams under there. Like so. And that's the only place I want to place it, is under my eye. And mainly just here and here. It just keeps it nice and bright. Okay, so we're looking a bit powdery. Sorry, don't know what that was about. So contour is next. I'm going to get my favourite, the Beijing Gal Fenty Beauty and Contour the Shiza out of my face. And just really go in the dints. So can you see a little dint just above it? And then across my forehead as usual. So above this arch part and then all the way across, kind of like a rainbow, and down like that to the other side. Done. I don't want to put too much blush for today. I know, shock. So I'm going to go in with my Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury. And then you just squeeze this bad boy out, but not too much, because a little goes a long way. And you go boop, 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 tree, boop, 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 tree. And then I buff that in. You can use your finger, but I don't really like doing that. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap it with a little brush. And it's just going to give you ever so slightly a nice shimmer. But it also has a pink tint to it, which I love. Nothing too cray. And again, do that on the other side. It's definitely not like a Mitchell, made by Mitchell blusher. But like I like this look when my eyes are like this. When I'm going out, I just think it just looks so nice. And my eyes are the main feature. That nothing else really overpowers the eyes. Now, just to intensify my little nose contour, I'm going to get the teeny tiniest brush. I'm going to go back into my Honey Love eyeshadow palette. Going to go into Glow, and this is really how it's going to come together, that nose. So I'm going to go just slightly above here because I've got actually a little bump on my nose, so I'm going to go above that so that the shine brings out the bump, the behind the bump brings that out so it looks more straight. Does that make sense? And then if you just tiny bit on the nose, it brings your nose together. See? That's all I want to do. Just that little highlight moment. It's the same as the brow bone. Lastly, lips. So my Kylie, I just giggle every time I say it because we all know, iced latte. I'm just barely going over. I don't want it too much, okay? And then I want to go into, this is called Virtue by Makeup Academy. So it's a nude. A nudie nude. And it smells so good. But is this a matte? I mean, it looks like a matte, but it's going on nice and soft and creamy. So, I mean, and voila. So this would be like my go-to look for my clients. Anyone that's going out in the evenings, or even actually some like weddings. Because you know the way weddings go from day to night. So, it just depends on the client. But yeah, this is like a nice typical smoky brown look, soft smoky brown look that I would do for my clients. And then sometimes when I'm feeling like I want to do makeup, I do it on myself, surprisingly. So yeah, this is my second look for the week. So next week is going to be another character week and then another normal makeup. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. And if you did, don't forget to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!